This episode of This Week in iPad is brought to you by SquareSpace. Go to squarespace.com/TWI for your special offer.
Coming up next on This Week in iPad, Frisbees and getting a pharmacy on the iPad. Hi everyone, welcome to This Week in iPad. I'm your host, Michelle Hummel. You can follow me at Michelle Hummel on Twitter. You can also follow Jacob Birch, our co-host, at Jacob Birch.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yay.
B-U-R-C-H, please.
Yes, no B-I-R-C-H.
I don't think that guy actually exists. I should just take that name too and
I tweeted him once
things.
Accidentally.
It happens.
Well, we have a great show for you guys, but before we start, I want to thank our sponsor, SquareSpace. Happen to be a huge fan. We're giving you guys a great little deal, so go to www.squarespace.com/TWI to check it out. I happen to be a huge fan. I built my own personal website on Squarespace. I tell all my friends about it. I do it for clients. It's easy, amazing. Check it out. All right, so let's head into Planet of the Apps.
Absolutely.
You maniacs! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Don't download it, Vaughn. You might not like how it runs.
So Jacob, since you had the week off last week.
Yeah, I took a nice little trip to a Dodger game. It's good. So we're going to start with Penultimate. Long time ago when it was Lon and I hosting this, we did a bunch of note-taking apps. They all more or less sucked. This one is actually pretty good. So right off the bat, one thing I really, really like about it is it starts right away. If I can, it has to be vertical for this. Whatever, we'll do it. So. It comes with a tutorial built in. So this is the first notebook you get, and it explains exactly how to do everything. It says tap here to open it. I've already kind of messed around with it. And I like the way they do it in that it's an actual use of the app as opposed to sort of like cheating around it or like a tutorial lesson. It's actually instructions written on the app itself, and you can mess with it as you could mess with any of the other notebooks. And it explains all the nice features it has. It keeps it simple. A lot of taking apps, I think, screwed up in that they had too many tools. You had a pencil, you had a pen, you had a thick pen. And this, they keep it simple. You have a pen, you have an eraser, you can clear everything. It's multi-paged. You can view all pages really easily by doing this. Go here, change the color to red, and I don't like this arrow, so I'm going to cross it out. So this isn't an app for me, so I feel a little weird reviewing it just because I have really big, thick fingers, and I will go to the notebook I started. And you can see sleep sounds good, and I don't seem to have the fine definition, because we showed a graphic earlier where people are drawing like chemistry notes, and I could never do that.
Right.
Like if I even tried to draw even like a hexagon and it like H2O. Granted, I'm doing this left-handed, so it's a little off, but it's huge. But I know a lot of people, I'm watching them using a much worse note-taking app, and they're amazing. They're taking super articulate notes just using their fingers. So for those people, it's amazing. It has a store where you can buy different, see if I can find it. I think it's my notebooks. I'd come across it, and now I don't know where it is. New notebook. Where you can buy different kinds of sheet. There we go, the paper shop. You come with plain, lined, and graph by default, but you can get music sheets for like $3 and design. And I don't know how useful that is. I don't know who's actually writing notes like this with their finger, but if you have the articulateness, it's there, and it's only $3 to get on the music ones. So if this is your thing and you like taking notes with your finger, absolutely get it. It's amazing. And there are other styluses that work for the iPad. I don't like using them, but if that's your thing, this is by far the best one I've used.
Yeah, I definitely would be inclined to try one, but I'm the same way. Like, I think it just takes a little practice, kind of like it did when you first got the touch text with the iPhone, just to kind of get that right touch to make it what you want it to be.
I'm sure if I practice, I mean, I have terrible penmanship with a pencil, so I'm probably never going to get good. But with a little practice, you can get there, and it's $1.99 well affordable compared to the other note-taking apps. All the free ones are awful. So if that's your thing, absolutely get it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. So I'm going to first go into Squarespace because if you are a paid subscription member after you decide to stay with them, you can download their app. Which for blogging is a breeze. It's amazing. I'm logged in right now. It's got all of my posts that I've done. I can easily bring them up. I just talked about Squarespace sponsoring this week. I can edit it. You can create a new post. You can easily swap between your accounts. Let's say that not only do I manage my website, but I sometimes blog for friends or I do social media for other people. I can swap between. You can manage your comments. Which I've done. No one has really anything to say about my stuff. And you can easily then manage your stats as well, too, to see who's seeing your page, the uniques, the robots, the referral URLs, subscribers. So it's a great app that goes along with the service for Squarespace. So you definitely, I mean, you have to have the website to be using it, but it makes, for bloggers, it's a dream. It's very easy. Love it a lot.
Great to hear. The Mahala's blog is actually on Squarespace, and we post fairly often to it. Hopefully more often soon. And so I'm excited to try a post straight from the iPad app.
Yeah, well, it's exciting because I also have it on the iPhone, but just with the iPad, obviously, if you're sitting around, having coffee,
checking out comments and commenting on the phone's one thing, but if you want a long post, the iPad seems really perfect for that.
You can see who's commenting, you can email them, you can get a hold of them, and it's just, you also can easily, what I like too, you can bring up Squarespace, and the back end of the editing is amazing, so I can bring it up on my browser, and it's got the interface where it looks exactly like your website, and you can easily move around. So editing the actual Squarespace account on the internet is really slick.
Which is really, because a lot of times I'm on the road and I notice something on my blog or something on a website that I edit, I did a really embarrassing typo, and I don't want to have to break up the laptop, do this sort of awkward edit. With the iPad, makes it super easy, so really cool to hear.
Nice.
So my next app is Set in Style, and I am not a jewelry aficionado.
I was surprised to see this one.
I actually picked this app for a very specific reason, and that I love, and I've said this on the show time and time again, how different kinds of content are getting displayed on the iPad, and making sure it's not just the magazine translated onto, or a photo thing where let me browse through photos by doing a swipe motion, and that's it. Maybe there's ways you can browse it. The Martha Stewart cookie app, I'm not a baker, but that to date is still, I think, my favorite example of how content can get displayed on iPad in a very unique to the iPad way. So Set in Style actually, and the reason why I picked it specifically is it goes after that Martha Stewart style where everything is just on a white background. You can see it very vibrantly, and you just kind of browse, sort of, I wonder what this one looks like. I don't think they did it as effectively as the Martha Stewart app, but I appreciate the effort. It's definitely unique to the iPad. For instance, something like Magnify. When I think Magnify, I just kind of want to put my finger over it and have it appear. They actually want you to pick it up from over here and look at it, which is a little awkward, and there's things like that.
Did you figure that out right away, or are you kind of like,
It took me, 3 or 4 seconds, but my instinct was to do this, and I'm like, it's not working, and I'm like, it explains it, but I wouldn't think to look for the tool over there.
Right.
It organizes it in interesting ways, but for instance, you can search, which takes forever to load, and I have to do it a few times before it actually, there it goes. And you can type in ballerina. There's a few pieces that are focused on the ballerina, but instead of whereas the Martha Stewart app would throw the non-relevant ones and bring the relevant ones to you, it just grays them out, and you have to kind of search. Oh, there they are, and there's the two I'm looking for. So there's a few missteps here, I think. I appreciate the effort in making it unique to the iPad. It's chock full of content. I believe it was free, so if you're at all into it, there's no reason not to get it. The content is amazing. Displayed in a unique way, but it's not as clean as it could be.
Right. No, it looks really interesting. I'll definitely have to check that out. All right, so my next app is a word we all now know of, Groupon. It kind of took the world by storm. Obviously, most people probably have the iPhone or the Android app to do the Groupons. I'm not sure if you're big on Groupons, but basically every day I'll get an email, I'll go check it out. What I like about this for the Groupon app, obviously seeing it on an iPad, the interface is much better. You see, Groupon always had a nice interface. It was very easy to read. You see very easily, what the offer is. This is very easy to buy. It's probably one of my favorite features is when you click the buy. Well, I have to be signed in, but basically you can put in your credit card and hit purchase, and it goes right into your purchase Groupons. You can bring all of those up, so any Groupon that I would have brought up would show. Obviously, you can bring it and use the barcode, so when you check in places with your offer, they can scan your barcode from scanners. It's got the swipe. It shows everything that's kind of been going on. It's nothing too crazy. Basically, what I see the benefit being is that now with these apps, I'll probably stop subscribing to the email to get rid of some spam and just have the interface know that every day I can pull it up. You can easily change your location, so I can pull it up anywhere. I think there's over 170 cities that are in here. So it's kind of cool. You're traveling with your iPad. You can pull up, any city that you're in, whether it's Albuquerque, and all those offers are there. So Groupon really isn't just for your local area. So it's a nice addition, I think, to the iPad that makes saving money a little easier.
And cutting out on the spam is important. Living Social, Groupon's sort of a rival in that space, tried to email me, and this is when I unsubscribed to both Groupon, Living Social, a colonic. It's like 50% off. I'm like, really? This is okay. Delete.
Get on board, Jacob.
No. Okay, so the next one is a game, Frisbee Forever. It is the tried and true. Oh, it is going to die on me. Die, Frisbee, go. Main menu. It's in the same vein of it's a free game where you can get some up front and then they want you to pay for more. And it does it interesting in the sort of We Roll Farmer way where you can earn the currency they have to, I'll show that first, stars, where you can buy different Frisbees or different levels or little power-ups. You earn these. I have 30 right now. I'm almost to a new thing. But if you want, you can buy them for, $3. Or you can get the best deal is if you spent $100 on coins. I don't know who is doing that to a Frisbee game.
Wow.
If you're thinking about that, either give me some of your money or go see help. That said, the game, I was down on it at first, but it is surprisingly interesting. I think it's probably more fun if you do the tilt. It has 2 modes, which I actually think I'm on tilt. But that said, I am terrible at the tilt mode, so I'm not even going to try it.
Okay.
The other way is just using tap, and there. Oh, I'm apparently.
So you just go for the stars.
Yeah, so
coins.
it ignored my change request to go off tilt. And you just kind of tilt away. Not quite Super Monkey Ball. It reminded me a little bit of, there's an SNES game called Uniracer, except you're not racing, you're kind of just racing against yourself, trying to get to the end of the level. So you try and get all the stars if you can, but if you don't go through the circles or the bone-ups, you lose power-ups. Our producer's laughing us outside. Me. You die and you fall down. But it's a very lighthearted game where it's not like you have lives. You can just keep trying in this Angry Birds fashion. We just keep trying, and makes it a pleasant diversion. I don't know if I'd pick it up and play it again, or I really want to keep it on my iPad, but again, as it's been noted, I'm not a huge casual game fan. I definitely was interested in, when I failed, I definitely wanted to get it again. So it's not well executed, navigation is perfect. I understood right away what the deal was. It took me 20 seconds to pick it up, so well done.
The graphics are pretty vibrant and bright. What did you think of the overall graphics?
I mean, they're vibrant and bright. They're not anything it's not Unreal Tournament or using the Unreal Engine or anything like that. But, it doesn't need to be. They need to be colorful and pleasant, and, that was fine. And they have a lot of obstacles in the Nintendo era sense where there's fans and there's different kinds of rings that will power you up. So, interesting, it invites that level of discovery to where, I wonder what this thing does. I wonder what that thing does. So I think it's really well executed. The presentation isn't why you're getting the game. It's free. A game like this needs to be really easy to pick up, slightly harder to master, and have lots of discovery. It has all 3 of those things, so well done.
Could you be a horrible Frisbee player in real life and excel on the iPad?
I am a horrible Frisbee player in real life, and I'm doing okay so far on the easier levels, so I think I'd be okay.
Less physical activity, but...
And it's less based on physics and more based on video game mechanics. So.
Great. Love it. Well, my next app is...
What I'm most excited for.
Well, this is kind of exciting. I don't know. I think, some people either they shop at Walgreens or they don't, but I just thought it was cool. Obviously, this huge store coming out with something that was kind of interesting. So on the left here, we've got the pharmacy, you've got photo, store locator, and shop. The 2 key components here is the pharmacy. Whether or not you get your prescription filled there, you may change your mind, because I think this is just brilliant. I don't know how many prescriptions. Some people have a lot. They get hard to manage. You can actually enter the RX number, hit refill. I'm assuming I actually don't get my prescriptions filled there, so I didn't set anything up to check. I don't need any. I need the meds, but it just seems like a really nice, slick interface. You can actually at one point also you can scan in the RX code from your actual prescription. So whether this is a good thing or not, people be getting more prescriptions all the time. I'm sure they've got their system down. I just thought it was kind of a brilliant way for them to, who knows, people who are very tech savvy may be more inclined to get their prescriptions now filled at Walgreens because they made this so simple.
And I think, I don't know if it'll work in the pharmacy world. It worked, at least for me, in the bank world. I immediately switched to USAA and ING because of their online, and then their online presence. And then USAA was one of the first to add depositing check through your phone, and I was, a reason to stay with them. I grew up across a Walgreens, so I had when I would get sick, have my prescriptions filled there. So that's why I was sort of excited to see them take a step in the right direction and not just make it a store locator coupon.
Because you have that. So let's say you're traveling and you do, want to fill your prescription. Maybe you're in
I'm glad
Arizona
they have
or something.
It, but I think it's really tempting for a big chain like a Walgreens to just release an app that has coupons, a store locator, and something weird.
They've also got a flu shot locator, which is nice. They've got 24-hour, the drive-through. They all show up. You can do, you can do the search. So the second feature that I really liked was the photos. Oh, it looks like it wants me. Well, you can actually, let's say you set up a username and password on the Walgreens app. You can order photos, which for me sometimes I think printing photos from like a Snapfish account or a Flickr, you want to get some, sometimes people still want the actual printed versions. Submitting them to Walgreens, they actually print them very quick. So from here you can access your albums that you created. I just pulled the photos from my iPad, upload them to an album on Walgreens, select print, the store you want to print them at, put your credit card info in, you're paid. So I think in terms of the pharmacy and the photos, it's pretty slick. The shop, so you can bring this with you while you're shopping. You can create a list. You can look at the weekly ad. The weekly ad feature.
It's something all these big retailer stores are doing along with the store locator. Glad it's there, but that's something I am looking more for. Oh, I'm at a Best Buy. Let me look it up on the internet, as opposed to let me seek out the Best Buy app.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone is as devoted of a Walgreens or Best Buy, whatever fan. I'm picking on Best Buy. I don't even know if they have an app. Toys R Us does this. To get the app itself. But when you do have the thing addition, like the photo printing and like the pharmacy, that's where it gets more interesting and you're more likely to keep that app around.
Right. It's not just like brand reiteration. The shopping list feature, I didn't get a chance to find, but you can add them kind of to there while you're going through, making sure you're getting everything. So those are more simple. And I think, what I was reading with comments from people is that hopefully with stores like this coming to the iPad, these become more interactive, where you're seeing the weekly ad, you click on it, you're in a store, it leads you to where that product is, you pick it up, you put it in the basket. That's ideally for me, what would be great. So I think, as often as people do the updates, I feel like some people do listen to the reviews, so hopefully we'll get a more interactive Walgreens.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yay. Well, yeah, so that is the apps that we have for today. Anything else? Any cool tips or tricks that you've heard lately on the iPad?
Not really. I mean, I think everything's sort of quiet waiting for WWDC, which will be in July, and that's when a slew of announcements will come out, probably about iOS 5 and Lion. So come that time, I'll have a lot, but it'll probably be kind of dead until then.
Great. All right, then. Well, I'd like to once again thank our sponsor, Squarespace. Be sure to go to the www.squarespace.com/TWI for your offer, which is a free 14-day trial, no credit card down, so you can easily get in there, start playing around, set up your site. Great templates, easy to manipulate and make your own. Also, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at TWI iPad. And if you have any comments, questions, things you want to see on the show, shoot us an email, ipad@thisweekin.com. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.